Well, can I just thank Prime Minister Modi for the extraordinarily generosity of his very warm welcome here. Australia and India are great friends. We are partners and we're building that partnership even stronger each and every day, both through our personal relationship as the Prime Ministers of India and Australia, but importantly as well the relationship between our peoples. I lead a delegation here of significant business leaders as well. We want to cooperate with India and build a relationship in culture, in economic relations, as well as in our security. And I want to warmly thank Prime Minister Modi for this extraordinary welcome here today. We are competing on the cricket field to be the world's best, but together we are building a better world. Thank you.
Again, very interesting statements coming in. The big thing is that together we are building a better world. We are going to be crossing back over to CNN News 18's Foreign Affairs correspondent Abhishek Jha to get us more on this. Abhishek, one of the things that the Australian Prime Minister just said is that he also wanted to formally thank Prime Minister Modi for the extraordinary welcome. This is a 4-day visit of the Australian Prime Minister. Can you go over what's been happening over the last few days to let our viewers understand what an exciting trip this has been?
So when Anthony Albanese says that he is happy and he expresses his gratitude for his extraordinary, generous gesture or hospitality from Prime Minister Modi, we have seen this happening, reflecting on Ahmedabad during the last days of post.
कितने ज़्यादा कल भी हमने तस्वीरों को देखा जो बिल्कुल दोस्त है, लेकिन उन्होंने ये भी बोला कि हम दोनों दोस्ती है, ये दोस्ती को आगे बढ़ाते हैं और बिल्कुल ये दो अलग-अलग देशों के राष्ट्राध्यक्ष जरूर हैं, लेकिन वो जो दोस्ती है प्रधानमंत्री की वो साफ तौर पर नजर आती हुई कुछ ऐसा ही हमने देखा था कि बेंजामिन नेतन्याहू के साथ जो इजरायली प्रधानमंत्री हैं, साथ ही साथ जब राष्ट्रपति थे ओबामा अमेरिका के, उनके साथ इस तरह की दोस्ती, इस तरह की बॉडी लैंग्वेज हमने देखी, इतनी पॉजिटिविटी.
All right, we were just listening into some commentary of the friendship between Prime Minister Modi and, again, the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. Abhishek, can you continue with what you were saying?
Yes, we have seen that friendship and personal rapport between the two prime ministers, at full display yesterday when they were participating in India-Australia 4th Test match at Ahmedabad. We also saw how they had a lap of honor around the ground. And the kind of, the friendship these two leaders have, showcased is actually reflecting in the India-Australia tie as well. We know India and Australia are not only related with, big political and diplomatic ties. There is a strong people-to-people connect that has actually paved the way for why these two countries should work together. And then there are other, geostrategic concern as well of Indo-Pacific, where India and Australia wants to collaborate to contain or at least keep the Indo-Pacific region afloat as a free, neutral, and rules-based order. And that is one of the areas where India, Australia, Japan, and USA are also collaborating. We have seen how many number of Indian diaspora have settled in Australia, and they are contributing in the development of Australia. And for that, Australian Prime Minister is also interested in having more talent pool coming from India to Australia. There is a technology collaboration also that is very much in talk between Australia and India. Australia can share their its extraordinary advanced technology in terms of clean energy with India. And then Australia also needs a lot of investment for its mine and mineral exploration, where Indians and Indian companies have been making foray in the last several years. We have seen coal mines in Australia being explored, and those coals coming back to India for the energy production. Now, with the change in the global energy dynamics, lithium is one of the most important rare mineral where the exploration is needed, and Australia has a rich resource for that metal and other rare metal also, where Australia is looking forward to having more partnership with country like India. So over the course of the day, when the two leaders will be sitting together and discussing how to strengthen the ties and what are the areas where both the country can collaborate and cooperate, clearly these are the issues where the discussions will be around, and we'll also have to see there are some MOUs, meaning memorandum of understanding, that will be signed between the two sides, in front of the leaders of the country.
Now, considering that we're going to be seeing that big bilateral happen later today in a short while from now, is it likely that the recent Hindu temple attacks in Australia, is that likely to be a topic that is touched upon?
We know that these issues have been raised at the highest level in the past, also because in the recent months we have seen an increase in such attempts and such attacks on Hindu communities across many countries, in Europe, in USA, in Australia, in Canada. And for some reason, the perpetrators or sort of sympathizer of the Khalistan, pro-Khalistan movement are believed to be behind many of these attacks. Australia has time and again repeated the call of freedom of speech and expression for everybody in their country. But at the same time, Australian High Commission Burrell last week just said that in the name of freedom of speech, one cannot be led to have violence, vandalism, or any sort of disregard for any other community. And that's the sense that he made. And in that context, we can assume that when the leaders will be discussing people-to-people ties, the security of Indian community in Australia, their interests and their concerns will be also discussed, because this is the issue that connects both the country, and one cannot look away from the pertinent issues that is actually very much concerning the Indian communities living in Australia.
Absolutely. Now, Abhishek, a few follow-up questions for you. There are a few statements that the Australian Prime Minister just made. I'll just go over them. Again, saying we are partners. We're building that strong partnership between India and Australia. Of course, our personal relationship as the PMs of India and Australia, of course, also focuses on people-to-people ties. And he specifically also said that we want to cooperate with India and build a relationship when it comes to culture, when it comes to economic relations, and when it comes to security. Now, on the security front, what do we know about what deals are likely to be inked?
We know that these two countries, they have a very strong, security partnership and understanding as well, because recently Australia was going to get some nuclear power submarine under the AUKUS deal that they had made. And China was opposing it at the International Atomic Energy Conference. And India not only supported Australia, but it also galvanized other countries to support Australia's demand, so that the Chinese objections are defeated, and Australia and the condemnation of Australia the way China wanted could not happen. So not only the collaboration is happening at a defense deal or some human capacity building, but it is also happening at a very strong high-level diplomatic side. We have seen 2+2 ministerial dialogue between the two countries that was last year in September 21, where the Prime Minister and Defense Minister of Australia visited India in June 2022. And there is a clear active engagement between the tri-services arrangements. And we have seen now Australia has also announced that it will be hosting the Malabar exercise. So the naval forces of these two countries are collaborating. Recently, we had seen Indian Air Force planes flying to Australia to take part in exercise. So a deep collaboration in defense sector is very much there. Technology is something that India is looking forward to having from Australia. Investment is something that Australia is looking forward to having from India in terms of exploration of its vast and rich mineral resources.
Absolutely. Abhishek, thank you so much for giving us that comprehensive look into the ties between India and Australia. Now, with this, we're heading into a very short break, but do stay with us for more.